Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Center Court, episode 2. I'm here with my man, Derek. Zach is our newest guest. And we are here to discuss some playoff basketball. But first, there's a 3x3 tourney happening that Zach is going to talk to us about.
So the newly formed Northeast 3x3 Basketball Federation. We're piggybacking off of Ice Cube's Big 3 League, off of the popularity of FIBA 3x3 basketball. In Eastern Europe, the Middle East, Africa, Asia, 3-on-3 basketball is the thing. It's the top urban sport growing in the world. I grew up playing in New Bedford, and we're going to host a tournament at the Burgo Basketball Association courts in nearby Dartmouth. Adidas is a sponsor. We've got customized James Harden shoes. We're excited for it. And it's August 4th to 6th. 150 teams is our goal the first year. We'll see how close we come to that. And yeah, 3-on-3 basketball. I'm sure you guys have experience playing it.
Oh, yeah.
To see it at a high level is kind of unique. I don't think there's a lot of people who've seen it played at a high level. But we have a very basketball-rich, heavy community in New Bedford, Dartmouth, Fall River. Chris Herron, who was very popular, was from nearby Fall River. He was the NBA player who overcame his heroin addiction, and there was a nice 30 for 30 on ESPN about him. Marcus Wills won back-to-back state championships at New Bedford High, leading them with some very good, talented teammates. Right now, we have Bonzi Colson at University of Notre Dame, all ACC first teamer. He's a New Bedford guy. Ariane Bradshaw from University of South Carolina, she just won a national championship. On the women's side, these are all from the same community. So our hope is to have this really big tournament down there. Their summer league gets 1,500 players at the youth level.
Wow.
And then expand it after that. So we called it the Northeast 3x3 Basketball Federation, any3x3hoop.com. You can find the registration information and everything. Got some tremendous partners involved in it, and we're really, really excited for it. So yeah, that's, if you want to start the show with that, we could talk the whole show about that. I'm excited for it, but I'm sure we'll do a lot of Celtics talk and some other things. But yeah, that's why I'm in the suit and tie here to represent.
Represent.
Nice.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Definitely going to have to check that out.
Yep.
So let's go from that into some Celtics talk. And
Let's
the
do that.
guys,
Let's do that.
Yeah. They lost the first 2 games in the playoffs, and the last one was 111-97 to Chicago. Someone had tweeted last night that we don't know what this locker room is going through as far as chemistry and emotionally with Isaiah's sister's passing, and our condolences to that family. Do you think that is... to me, they look kind of out of focus more than usual, and this might be an actual legit thing. Do you think this is playing a big role in their performance?
Without a doubt, it plays a big role. Even just playing college basketball, what a death to a teammate or a teammate's loved one can do. I went through that as a player, and it's awful. And you all kind of feel it. It's not just that one person. And the timing, obviously, is beyond believable, to be honest. And it's your team leader. There's a trickle-down effect without a doubt. Regardless, the Bulls are a very good team. They're a good 8 seed, and the Celtics are a weak 1 seed. So that also factors into this. And we can get to the on-the-court stuff, but yeah, off the court, clearly they took a hit, and you can see it. You can see it.
Yeah. First off, I want to send my condolences to Isaiah Thomas and his family. Honestly, it was one of the greatest things ever as a Celtics fan to see him play that game 1. I had goosebumps watching him come out, being introduced and everything like that. But I want to send condolences to his family. That was the first thing I wanted to do. But yes, it has a real, you can see the effect on the team. Game 2, Isaiah shot 6 for 13 in free throws. You know that? 52% from the line. I've never seen that before from IT ever. But I saw a quote yesterday on Twitter also. AB was saying that Rondo was saying, the Celtics quit. Because I guess you can see their heads held, down and everything, during the game. So I just think that the loss of IT's sister and everything really has the locker room is not the same as, energy-wise as it used to be. So, hopefully Game 3 they pick it up, but you can see the effects on the team right now. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty.
And, hopefully after the funeral and everything is over, there's some type of closure that will come with it, and maybe the performance might pick up.
Yeah, again, going back to the timing of it all. So he's got to go through a grieving period. Isaiah has to go through a grieving period, and he wasn't really allowed to do that. Not his fault, not the team's fault, just that's the way it happened. So you do wonder if for Game 3, having gone to Seattle-Tacoma, where he's from, and you know, seeing the family, having that moment, and it's all it is a moment, perhaps there's a little bit of closure, a little bit more grievance, and maybe he can come back in Game 3. The team can come back, you know, in Game 3 a little focused. Perhaps being out of Boston will help, you know, because a lot of life, as you guys know, is just, it's a matter of where you were when it happened. So maybe leaving and going to Chicago, you know, that will help the team. That'll help Isaiah, you know, having gone to Seattle and then getting on the plane to Illinois.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, actually, that a change of scenery could really help these guys. And it's really, I'm not concerned about Isaiah's performance. I'm not concerned about any of that. I'm concerned about the teammates because, you know, Marcus Smart was not playing that great. No one is playing. They owe Isaiah Thomas 2 wins. I firmly believe that. It's you know, you're having a hard time, and it's your teammates' job to help you out with that. And I get it's hard for everybody, but they overall as a group have to be better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was laughing at you guys see how Marcus might flip off a fan or
He got
some
fined
player?
for that today.
Oh yeah,
$25K.
I was dying.
$25,000 birdie.
Nice. No, but Al Horford said Game 3 is a must-win. So I'm intrigued to see how it goes down. Game 3 and Game 4.
I think what you're going to see is you're going to see a lineup change. And what happened last year, I think when they were down to the Hawks, they were down 0-2 to Atlanta last year, I believe, in the first round. And Brad Stevens switched it up and brought in Jonas Jerebko into the starting lineup. And he infused some type of energy, and he's a rebounding, you know, he's a rebounder for his size. He scraps a lot. I think you might see him come back
I could see that.
into the starter.
I also think Terry Rozier is a real possibility.
I like him.
I mean, he's 6'4", he's a leaper coming out of college. When we took him number 16 in the draft, that was the thing. He was a rebounding point guard. You're down 2-0. Like Al Horford said, like we're going to say, if they don't win the next game, it's over.
Yeah.
So you got to get rebounding fixed. Al Horford did not come with a rebounding reputation. He has not disappointed in that regard. You got to mix it up. But the problem is, I mean, who's your other two big guys? Tyler Zeller, who's, I mean, in NBA terms, not a very good player. Obviously better than all of us, but not as an NBA player. And then, you know, Jonas Jerebko, hopefully, you know, I think he'd be nice. Kelly Olynyk's not a rebounder. I mean, Marcus Smart's tough. You know, Avery Bradley's athletic, but
I don't know
who's going to clear the paint?
And I don't know where Amir Johnson is right now. Also on this
yeah.
series, I have no idea.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
yeah, we'll see.
I mean, I'm not the biggest Kelly Olynyk fan in the world. We'll put it nicely. We'll put it that way.
I like him. I like him.
When he is on, he's very good.
Absolutely.
You know, but his inconsistency is starting to become an issue in the league. And to be a really productive bench guy, you have to be consistent. It just, you know, especially for a team like this that relies so much on everybody to really make a impact so that, you know, they can pull out wins. So I guess my question is, do they win Game 3?
I want to say yes, they do. I'm going to say yes, they win Game 3. But if they do lose Game 3, I still think they can win this series. Call me crazy. I still think there's something about this Boston team. You can't just, you know, there's no quit in this team, no matter what the odds are. They will win Game 3 if they do lose. Don't panic, Boston. We'll still be involved. I think we're going to win the series, though. That's me.
They lose Game 3, it's over. It's not even close.
Oh, man.
No, the Bulls, let's think. They have guys who have won championships, and Jimmy Butler's still their best player. So you have two guys, you know, in Rondo, who won championships with Boston, and Wade, who won many championships down there in Miami with LeBron and friends, and Shaq even early in his career. No, they'll know how to close out a 3-0 lead. I don't think if they don't win Game 3, it's done. So Derek, you and I are gonna disagree.
We're gonna disagree on this.
But
it's
yeah,
okay.
I think it's done if they lose Game 3.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they can pull out, you know, a win. I mean, Brad Stevens is like super excited for Game 3.
Oh yeah.
He's like, if we could play today, I wish we could play. I'm so like there for it. And like, all right, you know, he must be doing something or thinking about something that has him really excited about this. But, you know, let's say, you know, they do win Game 3. Can they rip off 4 straight? I guess is my question.
You know, I was thinking about it today. I'm thinking they're going to split the series in Chicago. For some reason, it's going to be 3-1. and I think they can win the next 3. You know, Game 5 will be back at home. Game 6 they can get in Chicago, and then you get a Game 7 back in Boston. They're not gonna lose a Game 7 in Boston. I don't believe it. So, yeah, they could win 4 straight, but I think they're gonna split in Chicago, and then we get the next 3. That's my prediction. We win in 7. I knew this series was gonna be tougher than what people thought. A lot of people, oh yeah, we're gonna sweep Chicago. No. I knew Jimmy Butler, Dwayne Wade, Rondo, everyone's gonna step in. You know, they're gonna play harder than what people thought. Did I think they'd win 2 in Boston? Absolutely not. No one thought that really, but no, I think they can win the next couple of games. They have to. I just think there's something about this team that they can't lose. They can't get swept or lose in 5. Like, I don't believe it. Maybe it's just the Boston Celtics fan in me that is like really sticking with this team, but I just think IT will hopefully lead this team and we'll be able to keep going and we'll win in 7.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
That'd be nice. Despite my Charlotte Hornets tie, it's definitely a green blood that I bleed. I think practicality, though, you got to get rebounding fixed. So on the court, that's the first thing.
Absolutely.
You've got to get players who are invested in playing defense better.
Yes.
Their turnover percentage is through the roof from what they were. Coming out of the All-Star break, they're top 5 in the league in not turning the ball over. They've doubled that percentage right now. And like you said, I think that was a great stat. Isaiah, 6 for 13 from the line. Isaiah doesn't miss free throws.
Never.
So mentally, the 2 first games, mentally they were out.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the Bulls are a good team anyway, who have had some internal issues that it seems like, to a degree, they got lucky. They ran into a Celtics team that has now had internal issues. But Rondo always shows up in big games. We remember that, whenever it was National TV Day, you knew that he was going to show up. So unless you can fix the rebounding, unless you can fix the big man game, I think it probably is telling that I'm just about to say Jay Crowder's name, and we haven't said that yet in the first, 5-10 minutes of the show. I mean, there's a bit of an issue here with them from the interior game, and I think that could probably be the difference. And we're talking about who? Robin Lopez, Bobby Portis.
Yeah.
What's that guy?
I always like Mirotic, don't get me wrong, but he's not ever been known for a tenacious guy down in the paint. But I think that'll be the difference. If the Celtics can't control a little bit of the interior, control the paint a little bit better, then that's it. And it's not going to be any emotional point at this point in the season that's going to win you the game. Yeah.
I think a lot of Celtics fans kind of forget that this is technically a rebuilding year for the team.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, it's supposed to be. So I guess this summer, they're going to try to go after Gordon Hayward, which is the guy. That's, Brad Stevens' guy. That's Jay Crowder's position. And from what I can tell, Jay Crowder isn't the biggest Gordon Hayward fan in the world.
He's not.
No, not at all. But, on the flip side, Jay Crowder has not shown up when he has to. And then when people are like, yeah, get a guy of Gordon's caliber here, he gets upset. And it's like, all right, guy, I understand that you're upset, but you're not. The Celtics need you in the playoffs. You're not doing it.
Yeah.
You need to show up for stuff like this.
I think the reason we want to see the Celtics win, and I think you said it, Derek, you're thinking with your heart, maybe not even more so than your head.
I know.
And that's okay. I'm the same way in a lot of ways. So, but they're an overachieving team. Jay Crowder overachieved. He was a throw-in in that Rondo deal to Dallas.
Absolutely.
Isaiah Thomas has overachieved. No one thought he was going to do what he did this year after coming out of Phoenix. Amir Johnson overachieved based on what we got him from the Raptors, at that deal. Jerebko's overachieved from the Pistons. Danny Ainge has done a great job at bringing in pieces that have overachieved. And I think that speaks to Brad Stevens as a coach, and I think that speaks to the Celtics culture. So you're talking about a team of guys who have overachieved. But Jay Crowder is, honestly, he's just not as good a player as Gordon Hayward. He's not. You'd like to think he is, but he's not. And I think some of these guys, too, are victims of injury. Olynyk, you say consistency, he misses portions of seasons. Marcus Smart misses portions of seasons. Avery Bradley misses portions of seasons. If they're not healthy, that's tough to get through as well. So, it is a telling off season. I don't think there's any way, especially if they get swept, especially if they even lose the series, period, that you're coming back with the same team next year.
No, I agree.
Your second best player, if it's Al Horford, we're not getting out of the first round next year. We could be the number 1 seed again, but you're not getting out of the first round if Al Horford is your second best player. I just don't see it.
I like Al Horford, man.
I do too.
I love Al Horford.
Love Al Horford.
Word to my Dominican Republic people. That's my man. That's my guy. But, oh, man, I like Jay Crowder, too. I don't know what Danny Ainge has in store for this offseason with regards to that. Number 1 pick we're probably going to get, hopefully. Should be. Cool. Should be number 1 pick. But we need to establish rebounding, as my man Zach said.
Yeah.
We need to establish rebounding. We don't have a legitimate... I like Al Horford. He's more of a distributor. Mm-hmm. His assist to turnover ratio is really high. He throws the ball, a lot of dimes. But he's not a rebounder. Amir Johnson, undersized, not really a rebounder. We don't have a paint presence. We still don't. And it's being exposed in this series. So I'm hoping we can find a way to, if it has to be dealing Jay Crowder to find that kind of piece, I'm hoping we can do something like that. But we need a big man. As seen by what's going on, Robin Lopez is out rebounding us, and Miricic, and all these guys who don't rebound. I don't know what to say anymore.
Well, so we got Amir's coming off the books. His 2-year, $20 million deal's gone.
Okay.
I don't think there's any way you bring back Amir because he's
No.
29 years old.
Pay cut, maybe.
Yeah, big pay
It's
cut.
like
Big.
insurance policy.
I like him. Don't get into.
I
I like
like
Amir
him.
Johnson. I do.
But not as
But
you
not-
said,
but-
your dominant big man. Jerebko's off the books. I like Jerebko. Maybe he turns around, like you said, last year he did, given a new role. Olynyk's on the hook for $7.5 million. And then I'm blanking right. Oh, Tyler Zeller's on $8 million a year. So if I do some simple math, 8 is Zeller, 10 is Amir, and 5 is Jerebko. That's what, 23 mil?
23.
Yep.
It was $28 million a year that we're paying Horford over under.
More or
So,
less.
just about.
More or less,
Yeah.
right?
A little bit less, but not no.
So how we, so maybe you got to throw in a Crowder or somebody into a deal, but is Boston now an attractive place for free agents? And if they're an attractive place for free agents, Al Horford was the biggest signing in Celtics history, literally in Celtics history.
Yeah.
Can you bring in somebody to fill that role? I don't know if you're going to find him in the draft. I don't think so.
No.
A guy who's already ready, built, strong, and all that.
Not
I don't
this
think
year.
you do. But who's on the market, and that's something I'm not sure of.
The free agent market is, to me, there's no clear-cut guy. I mean, you have the Blake Griffin, you have the
Blake.
Gordon
Oh, I like Blake
Hayward.
Griffin.
His injuries have kind of turned me off a little bit.
Oh.
I would love either of those guys though, because they are still better than what we have currently on this roster. Let's be realistic. I think the bench has to get better this summer. I think they have to add more offensive firepower to that bench, and just in general, really at any position. But I'm going to throw the Knicks in here. The Knicks are having some internal issues,
Yeah.
and they've pissed off Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, it's not good.
Never good.
And
Not
it's
good.
never good.
Not good.
And I can guarantee you Danny Ainge has probably been on the phone. Just because he has to as part of his job.
Danny's probably got 2 phones.
He's probably got two
going at
phones.
all
He's probably like,
times.
hey, let me dangle this pick in front of you, or next year's pick, and you give me Porzingis. Because Porzingis is better than anybody you will find in this draft right now. NBA ready right now.
Oh, absolutely.
And I wouldn't put it past the Knicks to be this dull and take a deal like that.
That's what I'm saying. We need to trade this pick away. This draft is very guard heavy. Very guard heavy. I mean I like Fultz, I like Lonzo Ball and everything, but we have so many guards on this team. It's like I don't know what getting another rookie on this team, like another guard, would help the Celtics grow in any way, if you guys know what I'm talking about, So I'm hoping, Porzingis, that'd be awesome. That'd be great. It would be great to deal that pick away, but
It depends what you get in return.
no. I trust Ainge. I trust Ainge on it.
He's the guy who drafted Fab Melo. Don't have
Oh,
full blind
rest
trust.
in
His
peace.
draft
Rest in peace, by the way,
record
Fair
is
Fab
enough.
Melo.
spot.
Rest
It
in
had
peace.
nothing to do with yeah, I mean, I think Danny does a very good job. Probably a B+ job most of the time, A- job. That's why we're in the position we're in, where you have an overachieving coach and an overachieving team, and we can at least have these conversations.
Absolutely.
Because if he wasn't here, we probably are who? We
Nets.
probably are the Brooklyn Nets.
Or the
We're
Nets.
probably the Brooklyn Nets, right? Who do you bring in? Porzingis, I like. He's, I like the phrase unicorn. I like that phrase. That's been a good phrase in the last year. The poor man's unicorn, it sounds like, is Lauri Markkanen out of Arizona by way of Finland. They say he's the best shooting player in the nation, and he's 7 feet tall.
Wow.
So he's supposed to be, quote unquote, the poor man's Porzingis, and I'm a big Porzingis guy. If he's available, I mean, there's a few guys who I would put on the block. Bradley with the injury history. And it's too bad. I thought at the beginning of the season, he had turned into an offensive player. Like, you always knew about the defense, but Achilles is tough. He's had both ankles done. He's had both shoulders done. Marcus Smart is strong as can be, but, I mean, again, what are you doing the other day in the playoff game, at the end? Like, you're letting your emotions get you that good. I like Jaylen Brown. I think that was a great pickup.
Yeah.
Didn't expect that.
I think he has potential.
I like Rozier, but Rozier's a consistency guy. Gerald Green was a nice, pleasant surprise here and there, right? But he's not coming back.
Just a nice veteran, though.
And I'm with you. Fultz and Ball are probably going 1-2. It's guard heavy. Are they better than the guards you currently have? I'm not sure. I think they're pretty even. And if that's the case, do you grab one of them, put them on the bench, and then trade away one of the veterans? Or do you keep the veterans and trade away the pick? And that's going to be a question that we won't answer. We can just have our opinion on. Angel have to make that call for us.
It's going to be, the draft is going to be super, super interesting because Fultz has come out and, he sounds like a really, down-to-earth kind of humble kid. And he's been like, I've worked out with Isaiah, because they went to the same university, Washington. They're like, I would love to have that backcourt. And he's the same size as Rozier, 6'4".
He's strong.
Yeah.
He's more of a
big
Marcus.
Kid.
Yep.
Big kid, more offensively, I think, polished than any guard other than Isaiah that we have. He would be nice. I think him and Jaylen developing together would be your set for a very long time. But the other side of that is you have Al Horford, who's 30, 31.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Isaiah's going to be 30 in a few years. I think this is the summer that Danny Ainge just overhauls his bench and gets the star in there and uses his guys in their primes to try to go win that title. And the Cavaliers, they might keep breaking down every year. Not LeBron, but the bench, or maybe Kevin Love gets hurt. You just don't know.
Yeah.
LeBron will. There's no getting past it. But the guys around him could very easily get injured. The guys around him could very easily have, something could happen. So you never know. So I think it's worth definitely trading for the guy, trading for the star, and just seeing how far you can go.
Yeah. Well, I think Horford signing simply means they're trying to win now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think that signals that. So if we take that, then they're probably considering trading the number 1 pick.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And who do you get for him? If you trade the number 1 to get Gordon Hayward, I don't think any of us are happy about that. If you trade the number 1 to get Porzingis, okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the caliber of what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just think the window for the Celtics is closing fast. I'm a
Really?
big Celtics fan, but we only have so many assets for so long where, we have a number 1 pick in Brooklyn this year, and then we have cap space right now. But then soon we have to sign IT to an expiring contract because it's expiring, and then I want to win now, I feel like we have the pieces and the means to win right now. So I don't know if we need to draft anyone and then try to go through that process, because by the time, a Fultz or a Ball is ready to go as an all-star level, and maybe 3 years, 4 years down the line, and we have more people to sign, and I just think the window's closing,
You say that, but Kawhi Leonard's still just entering his prime.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Right?
That's Kawhi, though.
Steph Curry's just entering his prime. So I know on the East side, we know it's LeBron.
Yeah.
It's the Cavs.
Got it.
But even when LeBron gets old, maybe he's a freak. So is it 3-4
Yeah.
years,
Man,
right?
you don't know.
But I think Kyrie is one of the top 10 players in the league, too.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so even if LeBron starts to break down, the Cavs are in a better position than we are today. Like, their second best player is better than our best player. So it might go through Cleveland for a while.
That's what I mean.
So you say we're ready to win now. Yeah, but at what level? Like Eastern Conference Finals level? I don't know if we get past the Wizards right now. John Wall and Bradley Beal are better than Avery Bradley and Isaiah Thomas, my opinion. The Raptors, DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry are better than Isaiah Thomas and Avery Bradley, my opinion. And we said this, I think, already. The front court is our weakness. The back court is our strength. And those are teams in the East that I think are better than us in the back court. So I think we're an overachieving team. I think we'd like to see them win, but they gotta make some sort of deal, get a Paul George level, a Porzingis level, a Jimmy Butler level. And if you don't, we're gonna just be in the pack. We're not gonna be leading.
Yeah.
We're gonna be in the pack for a few years.
Yeah.
So,
So real quick before we head out, MVP and NBA champion. Go.
MVP of the regular season?
Yes.
James Harden.
Champion. NBA title winner.
I've always been, I hate to say this, oh man, this is me thinking with my head, not my heart. Until you beat them, you go with them as the champs, so the Cavs. Until you beat them.
MVP, Russell Westbrook, Mr. Triple-Double, NBA champions, Golden State Warriors.
Golden State Warriors.
I'm not
All
betting
right.
against KD.
Those would probably be my second best
No,
choices.
it's
between, right?
It's
You can't go
Yeah.
wrong.
You can't go wrong.
Unless, the Spurs come up and surprise everybody. But
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Golden State just because I just feel like they're going to do it this year. Thank you for joining us. This was a great show. And check us out for episode 3 coming soon.
Don't mess with me. I'm the little guy. Brown on the baseline. Has the basketball, gives it up. Swarming for Bradley. Oh my gosh. That's the ball game.